Welcome back, my friends, to TFT Hyperroll with Autarch, and by the time this is posted, the new patch will be in. They've added a bunch of portals, and really, I don't know what it's going to do to the meta, because now you can craft a country emblem, so I think we're going to see a lot more country teams. There's also portals that allow you to get spatulas. I don't know if they're in Hyperroll. I presume they are, but spatulas will likely become more available. So, yeah, things might get a little weird, but they've also buffed Guardians and buffed some of the Guardian champs. So, yeah, I expect Rapid Fire Guardians is going to become a more permanent part of the meta. But this next series of videos that I'm going to do over the next few days are for games that got, I'll just say, out of hand, where it started one way, things went a little crazy, and then built to the level of insane. So let's get into this one. This game had done really nothing to reveal itself to me, so I roll the first two. I'll hold on to Golden Ticket unless I get something that I absolutely want. Then I'll go ahead and take Golden Ticket, because getting free rerolls is definitely a strategy you like to follow in this. Once I went ahead and saw the country Tom Kench along with the Katarina, I knew I could at least start country, which often gives you a pretty good start. I happen to pick up a 2-star Cassante, so I threw that in, because my goal right now is just make the best board possible and then see what I can form as I go on. With Golden Ticket, I should have some decent possibilities later. And with a shop full of Nars, I certainly feel like this game is pushing me into the country mosher direction, which, if it gives you an emblem, great, you can go to the 7 country, otherwise you're likely gonna have to pivot towards the end. So we grabbed our 2-star Gnar, threw a Sunfire Cape onto Tom Kench. We have him being enhanced by Gragas to trigger Bruiser, although Gragas is not adding that much. Probably would have been better with the Jax on the bench to give us Mosher, but either way, we're still winning at this moment. It's time for the second set of augments, and Blistering Strikes is out mainly because we already put on a Sunfire Cape, so it's not going to stack, so there's no use in taking that. Keepers is kind of interesting, because in a Mosher build, country Mosher build also, you're going to have people in a clump, and if you're clumping them, you might as well get a shield out of it. So we can go ahead and bring in Jax, because the first level of Bruiser isn't necessarily worth that much, but of course we run into a Rapid Fire Guardian team that seems to be using Guardian as their headliner. While that's going to be very strong early, hopefully they plan on switching out of it, but early game, yeah, it's really hard to beat that build if they're set up, because the Guardians are really strong. Now, this NPC round threw a lot of stuff at me. A lot of AP items. Also a Lux. So, I'm seeing the possibility, since I have a 2-star Jax, to maybe pivot over from the country moshers into an EDM build, as was suggested in my Lux video by 13 Vantus, as I could not figure out a smooth way to get over to EDM without completely risking everything, and country moshers seemed like a good way to get there. And although country moshers can be pretty strong early, we don't have a lot of items out there, because we're getting ready to switch it over to Lux, and that is a gold 3-star Kale with a true damage emblem. Now, if you are looking to go Lux, 7 is a great place to get rid of your headliner and look to pick up a Lux, because you have a pretty good shot at 3-cost headliners, and we get our EDM Lux, and we already have 2 more on the bench, so we can start assembling some pretty good Lux items. It is time for our final augment, and it is Prismatic. Nothing super exciting except for Pandora's items, because that will give us the chance to get, ultimately, the perfect Lux items. We might have gotten them anyway, since we had the Scuttle Puddle, so we're going to get additional stuff, but this comes with a Radiant and Warmog's Pride on our set. That's a pretty good deal. And since we have golden ticket, we can do some light rolling to look for additional EDMs who are going to come in. We need to find Zach and Zed, the two Zs, and bring them into the match so that we can get to the 5 EDMs so we can be casting from a lot of places quite often. With Pandora's items and some rolling, we got Lux the Jeweled Gauntlet. We were also able to find a 2-star Zed and another one to hang out on the bench. We're going to be looking for that 2-star Zac ultimately, but we are loading up Zed to get him ready to go in and see what he can do with this team. We're continuing to look for Luxes and anything to make this team stronger. Unfortunately, when this was played, Lux 2 had not been buffed yet, so she wasn't quite as strong as she is right now, so this may have been a little bit different, but a 3-star Zac is still going to be pretty strong. So it is time for an item choice, and I'm once again finding myself with this build kind of on the edge of death, not exactly where I want to be. We flip out Set to get the items onto Zac. Now, things are going to get a little crazy here, because we go ahead and put in Yone for Crowd Diver. Then, what to do next, we go ahead and roll. Find a Zed headliner with Crowd Diver, which if you look at all the Zeds, this will give us a gold 3-star Zed. Try to get him up, but not quite in time for the match. And luckily, we were only going to lose 4 health, so went ahead and put a Bloodthirster on Zed and started loading Lux up with what's going to be the Lux items. After this round is over, Zed will reform with 3 decent Zed items, and he will be a gold 3-star Zed, which should help us survive death. Item-wise, we just want to tank up Zac a little bit more, because the longer he's out there, the more EDM pulses that will go off, and we're now using Zed, so an even Shroud won't hurt. We've also picked up a Kayn, and in reality, I should have had Qiyana in at this point because she would have made the 4th Crowd Diver, but I was just trying to get that Zed into place that I wasn't even focused on what needed to be in the front line at that point. And because I have golden ticket, I can continue to roll and pick things up. I've managed to get a 2-star Kayn ready to go, but the gold 3-star Zed is going to keep us in this. In between rounds, we got Qiyana in and also had to start her, so we now have the 4 Crowd Diver, and we're pretty good to go. Which is a really good thing because we are now into the top 4 and picking up lots more 5 cost. And I always find moments like this so tempting. We have a 2-star Qiyana, we have a 1-star on the bench, and there's a headliner. I could dump Zed now and take a shot and go for that, but it's a lot safer to just hold on to that 3-star Zed. And as we head into our first fight in the top 4, things have gotten pretty interesting on the bench. We have a 2-star Qiyana and a 2-star Kayn, and then there's another Qiyana in the shop, and this 3-star Zed should be able to carry us through. And this bench story has gotten even more interesting as we are 1 away on Kayn and 1 away on Qiyana. Kayn is sitting in the shop. Now, I could dump the Kayns and just look for the Qiyana, but I'm hoping that maybe I can get both. But this 3-star Zed is going to have to carry me through a very, very strong team, but he makes it through. Now we can pick up this Kayn and then go looking and see if, yep, the gold 3-star Qiyana. The person we're against has 10 health, so there is a chance that we can get the gold 3-star Kayn as well. I take my shot at it by selling a champion I know I don't need. Go ahead, put the item over on Yone just because. Ultimately, Qiyana's gonna clean house anyway. They have a Spellweaver Annie team, and yeah, they're out at that point once they see the Qiyana, and it's GG for everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video and the crazy stuff that went on inside, and as always, have an absolutely, absolutely awesome day.